Good afternoon. This is Chris Brecher with the Simpler Stocks free video for March 24, 2016. It's 3:36 p.m. like you see 24 minutes before the bell. What was today all about? Today was about the market trying to follow crude oil and watching gold fall apart today. And basically, the market is just being in a defensive mode for two reasons. Number one, the ES has got too far away from their 9-moving average. Number two, that with the holiday season over the weekend, where the Easter holiday is, a lot of people don't want to be long tomorrow just in case something like Brussels happens again. So I think what you're seeing is very slow trading in anticipation of the holiday and flattening out your positions in the meantime. Now, what I watched today was this, is we're watching the ESs in here, and we're watching the doji yesterday, and I'm telling you, those dojis are important. A lot of people count sheep at night. I count dojis. You had the follow through today under it. Big deal in here. Now, you also have the negative divergence. On the Simpler Stocks premium side, we've been talking about the negative divergence for a long time, but we said you had to look for reversal signals. What are some of them? Look on the right and look at the trend lines that we posted yesterday on the premium site and this morning. And notice the more times you touch, the more significant. What happened when it broke 2038? Then it went down another 13 points. That's why people pay to be on the Simpler Stocks premium side. What else looked like this? Look at the NASDAQ. Look at this beautiful trend line in here. Remember, the more points you touch, the more significant. And what happened? The second it broke that, what did it do? Tried to work off a little bit of the oversold condition. Had enough ammunition then for the next leg down. Let me show you on a closer term so you can see this. 78 on the left, 15 on the right. A little more apparent now when you go on here is seeing this right here. Right when it broke that, right there, it went straight down. So, I mean, that was a good trade, and I've been trying to teach people how to trade this. What do we think now? This is what I want you to see. We have a daily, and like I said, the ESs, the NQs look very similar, that they've rallied up to resistance, and the NQs still have a little ways to go, but they rally up near resistance. And now what usually happens is you frustrate bulls and bears. Now, what do I mean by that? If you look at a 195 chart of both, you get these little fits and starts. You look like you're going to break down. Then you rally. Then you rally here, and then it fakes everybody out. That's usually the way that you get traders, bears and bulls, frustrated. So they basically flatten their positions. So then there's enough ammunition to have a violent move. Right now, you're more like coiling. Now, to give you an idea, first thing I do is I look for divergences. You look at the ESs here and you put it back on a daily. You see that right there. Beautiful doji. Right at resistance. Right where it filled a gap in here if you go to a non-24-hour chart. First thing I notice is that. But this isn't enough yet because you still haven't even gotten under the 9 EMA. But one thing I want you to realize in here, and I've been talking about it for months, what happened on last Friday? A lot of companies can't buy back their stock. You can't buy back 5 weeks prior to their earnings. It's called a blackout period. That doesn't mean you blindly go down. What it means is bearish charts have a higher probability of working because the companies can't go in and support the stocks. What do I mean by this? Look at IBM in here. IBM will have earnings out in April. They're already in their quiet period. Look what happened almost to the day they were in the quiet period. You got a doji and then fell apart today. Now, the whole idea is these stocks fall apart all the time. You have intraday little sell-offs. Look at the grind lower. And what is the one reason? Because they can't support the stock, the company. Now, if you were wondering when companies support the stock, they can't buy on the exact opening, and they can't buy the last 10 minutes. If you ever wonder if a company is in the process of buying their stock, look at the last 10 minutes of every day. I can't stress enough on how that works. Look at IBM in here. Put in a big old 5-minute chart of IBM and see if there are other days where you could tell where they bought back their stock. Let's put in a 15-day 5-minute. And you'll see that if it precipitously sold off right on the close, here's one it sold off. That wasn't a good one. Let's go back a little farther and see. Check this one out. On Friday, right here, the stock went from 147.48 down 50 cents. Let's go the day before. That's a good one. Check that out. Right here went from 147.22 close to 147.04. Not a lot. So like I said, this doesn't tell you whether the companies were actually in there. Let's see if you can find them one that's really dramatic and try to find you in here. In fact, what I see is I don't see a lot of buying by the company in here. Is sometimes they do it right after they have bad earnings. But in here, well, here's one. Here's a good one, 142.29. This is on March 14th. And this was at 355. Let me see where it went. It went down about a dollar. The whole idea in here is there's sometimes when it's obvious when a company's coming in. This one, all I can tell is after this doji, the stock started selling off. And the key is if it sells off, the company can't support it on the way down. So that's the big key is don't blindly short something. Short it if you have more than one reason. And that's the whole idea is if these start rolling over, the ones with gigantic buybacks, the Home Depots of the world, the McDonald's of the world. The whole idea in here is once they start developing bearish patterns, you can probably play them from the short side. Now, the thing you have to understand in here is you might not want to play it from a daily, from a swing trade because they haven't rolled over. If that's true, then play it from a shorter term perspective. Now, today, a lot of people in the chat wanted me to go ahead and post some 15-minute charts after the close. So on the premium forum, I'll be happy to. I'm going to post some premium charts, some 15-minute charts, and see if we can find some like this on the right. Reason being that if they break, and that's a big if, like this at McDonald's, the company can't support the stock on the way down. So it's a great time of year to pick out bearish charts because they have a higher probability of working. On the premium side tonight, we're going to talk about some interesting option activity. In fact, one of them that as I was talking today got taken, basically explored a sale. And the option activity tipped you off beforehand. We're going to go over how to spot that activity. Now, let me show you a couple of things in here. I think most people know we have a trial of if for a $7, and I'm going to show you, I had to find it in here, right here. You can become a premium member, $7 for 30 days. Now, what you get in here, just so you know, and let me navigate so you know what I'm talking about. One is you get classes. So I'm going to log in here so you know what I'm talking about. Give me a second. And what you get in here is this. We sort of made the tiles like Windows. Windows platform. You have our chat room. That's from 8 to 9 in the morning. I get on Eastern before the opening where we can go over things. As a special thing, next week, I'm going to be on from 9:30 to 10 also, right when the market opens and show you what I'm trading and how I trade it. Then we have premium videos. A lot of times these are, I do classes almost once a week for like 15 minutes to 30 minutes. And I always say 15 minutes. They always end up an hour because I take a lot of questions and answers. But basically in there, they're free webinars for members. And if you do the $7 trial, you get that. You get the forum where we also, all during the day, including me, you either publish just ideas, people ask me questions, and we get back and forth in there. Just a nice back and forth. We also do this thing called quizzes, where about once a month, we do a study guide. This one we did on measuring gaps. And then we have quizzes people can take and to see if they're grasping everything in the study guides. This is all included in your package. Other thing we have in here, and this is one of the more important, is the stock ideas. This was totally my idea to add long-term stocks, short-term stock ideas, index. Usually every night I show about 5 or 6 indexes. If I see something intraday developing, I show it here. Then today I posted 2 different unusual option activity things. Sometimes when like the VRX and MNK are going nuts, I'll post the hot sector of the day and any news that goes along with it. So I hope this helps everyone. I hope everybody has a great night. I hope you can take advantage of the idea of $7 for 30 days. We've had literally thousands of people take us up on the offer, and it's been just a great site. We've had a blast doing it. Everybody have a great night and take care.